I think he could still ball. He could still play the game. He could still offer a lot to the game, to any team that wants to bring him in. Hey guys, welcome back to Bumping Grinds. This is Jaden.
I'm Sharkbait.
And we're here for the people, and we're going to be talking about Emmanuel Sanders being released by the Saints. To start it off, I'm just going to say I'm not surprised by this move because Emmanuel Sanders, he's 33 years old. I would say he's been consistent, but he hasn't been great. You know what I'm saying? I think he can still play, and I just feel like, in my opinion, it didn't really work. I thought he would go crazy in the Saints offense. I thought he would have more production, and like I said, I think he's been consistent, but I also think he didn't have the best opportunity he could have had, as far as helping the Saints bring a championship home and bringing in the Super Bowl. And I'm talking about a dude that's a 2-time Pro Bowler. I'm talking about a dude that's a Super Bowl champion. I'm talking a dude that knows how to play the game. I'm talking about a dude that is a good guy and has leadership. So wherever he goes, whatever team he goes, I could see him going to a competitive team, somebody that's going to be in the race for the Super Bowl, like the Chiefs, maybe the Bucks. I don't know what they're going to do. Who else? Green Bay for sure would help out Aaron Rodgers. And I can think of a few other teams, but I'm not surprised by this move because the Saints, they're in cap hell. So I would like to see Emmanuel Sanders go to a team where he could have the best chance to not only produce more than he did at the Saints, but also bring home another Super Bowl for that team because I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm. So when I was looking at Sanders' stats, it actually was kind of eye-catching because his first 4 years in the league, he was with Pittsburgh, and he didn't really do much.
Right.
But you can see that he was starting to come into his own. His first year, over 300 yards. Second year, he dipped, but he also played less games. Mm-hmm. Then his third year, 600 yards. Fourth year, 700 yards. And then 2014 is when he went to Denver, and that's when he had his, I would say, 5.5-year stint, because in 2019 he went to San Francisco.
Right.
But his first 3 years with Denver, he had over 1,000 yards. So you can see that he was starting to become not only a top receiver in the league, but someone, to keep an eye on and to never doubt. But then his final, I would say, 2.5-ish years, he dipped. He didn't get 1,000 yards. He went back, in a sense, to his old ways when he was with Pitt. But at the same time, I feel like that was when Denver was slowly starting to move away towards him and try to build their receiving core. And in 2018 and 2019, he ended up getting over 800 yards. So still being consistent. And every year he has had a touchdown. There's not one year where he didn't have a touchdown. And when he was with the Niners, he had 500 yards in the 10 games that he played for them. And then when he went to New Orleans, he ended up getting 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. For some reason, I feel that New Orleans, if anything, should have signed into maybe another 1-year deal and said, hey, it's not going to be a big contract, but it's going to be something, and we still want to use you, because he's been very consistent. So for the past at least few years, he's not going to, obviously since he's 33, he's not going to be the same guy that he used to be when he was with Denver, when he reached his peak in his first 2 years with Denver, where he got over 1,000 yards. So obviously, like you said, though, that the Saints are in deep cap shit, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel that they could have at least given him one more chance, said, hey, if you get over 700 or 800 yards, that we'll re-sign you for at least another year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact that, like I said, for the past few years, he's been very consistent. I would say since he left his final true year in Denver, like I said, he had over 800 yards. And then 2019, when he went from Denver to San Francisco, he had 800 yards.
Right.
And then this year he had 700. So I feel you say, hey, last year you didn't get over 800, but you got over 700. If we can push you to at least get 800, we might re-sign you for at least another year.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt I don't know. It's kind of sad because I do like Emmanuel Sanders. He's definitely a good player, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm being a little biased, but I feel like the Saints should have at least signed him to one more year deal. It doesn't have to be a big deal,
Right.
but at least give him something and say we still want to use you. You're still, because he's clearly still a vital part of the offense. Because Michael Thomas went down with an injury last year, and
they have Trey Smith, Deontay Harris. Those are some. They're good. I would say they're all right. They're good players. They're better than what the Eagles have right now. So, but I think he had one more year left on his deal, and they released him. So, to me, that just says, oh well, we don't want your services anymore.
Right.
And personally, I don't think Emmanuel Sanders should want to go back to the Saints because who do they have at quarterback? And I truly believe that Emmanuel Sanders maybe doesn't believe in the quarterback situation that's going on right now. Because this man, he's chasing rings. Like, why would he be chasing stats? Like he's trying to get.
Does he already have a ring too?
Yeah, he's a one-time Super Bowl champion. Broncos.
Yep.
And personally, I'd like to see him go somewhere where he can definitely compete for a championship because he can bring a lot to the table.
He's definitely not going to be a first, and he could potentially even be a second, if not a third option. But at the same time, he can still produce on the field. And like I said, the past 2-3 years, he's been very consistent. So if he can get you 700 or 800 yards, I feel that at his age, he's still performing very well, and that he at least deserves not only a good chunk of money at least, but to at least be on a team. And I feel that a team in the NFL is definitely going to come forward and say, we want you to be on our team because we feel that you are a missing piece that could take us to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I would this is the dark horse. This is my dark horse team that I have if I'm going to predict where he goes. But I think it would be cool to see him paired up with Lamar Jackson. Because
interesting.
Yeah, because I think, I'm just going to say real quick, I think Lamar Jackson is missing somebody that can run every route and that can actually have some speed. He can go in the slot. I know they have Marquise Brown, but we all know how special of a player he is, but that wasn't enough, because we watched that. If we watch the season, and I have a Lamar Jackson jersey, I've watched almost every single game, including the playoffs. Marquise Brown is good, and I think he's working hard to go onto that next level, but it wasn't enough with him. And Des Bryant, it didn't work out. I'm not sure. It could be the scheme factor that played into it. But I think if the Ravens want a quality veteran, I think Emmanuel Sanders is the way to go. Or they could sign Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay, but we'll talk about that for another time.
Yeah, but I feel Kenny would be the guy who would want to get paid, while Emmanuel Sanders knows that he's not what he used to be, but he knows that he can at least still produce.
Yeah.
So if you want to save cap, I feel like you said that could be a very good team for Emmanuel to go.
You can sign him
because it's like you said, they have Marquise Brown and they have Mark Andrews, 2 star guys. But now here's the thing: what happens if both of those guys, if let's say one of those guys goes down, then who are you just going to target? The other guy, or are you going to just start running the ball? Now, if you have Emmanuel Sanders, he's, like I said before, Emmanuel Sanders can be that third option on team. And if he went to the Ravens, he would be a third option, and he could still get that 700 yards and still produce, still get a few touchdowns, and prove that he still has what it takes to be in the NFL and play for a star team.
Right, exactly. I agree with everything you said. Emmanuel Sanders, this is a player that can bring a lot to the table, but you have to put him in situations where he's gonna be successful, where you're actually gonna use him and not just have him because he's a name, or just have him because it's convenient. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna use him to his full potential with how much he has left in the tank. Because I think Emmanuel Sanders has plenty in the tank. I think he could still ball. He can still play the game. He can still offer a lot to the game, to any team that wants to bring him in. I would be happy if the Eagles somehow got him, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that.
The Eagles could use someone. So the Eagles could be a good choice for him as well to maybe
I mean, they're not going to win a
see what.
Super Bowl because they're still like they got a lot to fix. But if
But at least he'd be a step in the right direction.
right, if Emmanuel Sanders, was like, hell, let me go ahead and play with this new system with Jalen Hurts. Let me see how that goes, because I think a lot of players around the league they know what Jalen Hurts is about, and I don't want to talk too much into it because I know we're talking about Emmanuel Sanders, but like I said, I think Emmanuel Sanders will go to a team where they're going to compete for the Super Bowl championship. Because to me, it wouldn't make sense. Like, why would he go to a team like, say, the Jaguars or the Jets or something like that?
Teams that are rebuilding.
Right. While he still has his time left, because wide receivers in the league don't last till unless you're Larry Fitzgerald, you're not lasting pretty much till 40 years old. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
So
he's 30.
Yeah. So Sanders is coming down to his final maybe 3-4-ish years at most.
Yeah.
So why not try to win another ring? Why not try to win 2 rings and still put up those 700, 800 plus yards that you can still produce, because he's been doing that still.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's a quality starter, quality teammate, and he knows how to play the game, and he's going to help the locker room out with leadership and chemistry. And I like him a lot, and I wish him the best. I hope he goes to a team that's going to use him right and use him to his full potential while he still has some stuff left in the tank, and hopefully he'll get a second ring. All right, guys, that was what we had for Emmanuel Sanders. Subscribe to our channel, like on all of our videos, comment, leave a comment if you have any thoughts or agree or disagree with our opinions, and let us know if there's any different topics that you guys want to know, like that we can talk about, that you guys want to see on the channel. Yeah, this is Jaden.
I'm Sharkbait.
All right, bumping grinds, baby.